Hello, friends. Today I am going to tell you a horror story based on a real-life incident. This story happened to a night bus driver, and even today, no one has been able to explain what he experienced. If you are alone while listening to this story, you might want to turn on a light. So let's begin. In 2019, a bus driver named Daniel worked the late-night shift in a quiet town. His route was simple. Every night he drove from the main city terminal to a small village about 40 kilometers away. The road passed through long, empty highways, dark forests, and a few isolated bus stops that were rarely used after midnight. Most nights were completely silent. Sometimes, Daniel wouldn't see a single passenger for hours. The only sounds were the engine of the bus and the wind hitting the windows as he drove through the darkness. But one night, something strange happened. At exactly 2:17 in the morning, Daniel approached an old bus stop called Raven Hill Stop. It was an abandoned stop on the side of the road with a broken streetlight that flickered weakly in the dark. Normally, nobody ever waited there at night. But that night, someone was standing there. Under the dim light, Daniel saw a woman. She was wearing a long gray coat, and her black hair covered part of her face. She stood completely still, not moving, not looking around, just waiting. Daniel felt a strange chill, but he stopped the bus and opened the door. The woman slowly stepped inside. Her face looked pale, almost lifeless. She didn't say anything. She didn't even look at Daniel. She quietly walked toward the back of the bus and sat down. Daniel continued driving, trying to ignore the uneasy feeling growing in his chest. 10 minutes passed. Daniel looked into the rear-view mirror. The woman was staring directly at him. Her eyes were fixed on him, unblinking. Daniel quickly looked away and focused on the road. He tried to convince himself that he was just tired, but something about her felt wrong. The bus was completely empty. No other passengers had boarded that night, just him and that silent woman sitting in the back. Another 10 minutes passed. Daniel glanced at the mirror again. The seat was empty. The woman was gone. Daniel immediately slowed down and stopped the bus on the side of the road. His heart started beating faster. He grabbed a flashlight and walked toward the back of the bus. Row by row he checked every seat. No one was there. He checked the emergency exit. It was still locked. He checked the windows. All of them were closed. The woman had simply disappeared. Daniel returned to the driver's seat, feeling confused and shaken. Maybe he was just imagining things. Maybe he was too tired after working so many night shifts. When he finally reached the bus terminal, he told the security guard about what happened. The guard looked surprised and a little nervous. He told Daniel something strange. That day, the company had just installed new CCTV cameras inside the bus. Daniel immediately went to check the recording. The footage showed him driving through the empty highway. It showed the bus stopping at Raven Hill Stop. It showed Daniel opening the door. But no one entered the bus. No woman. No passenger. Nothing. Daniel watched the footage again and again. But every time, the result was the same. According to the camera, the woman never existed. Daniel then asked the security guard about Raven Hill Stop. The guard became quiet for a moment. Then he told Daniel something that made his blood run cold. 5 years earlier, a woman had died at that exact bus stop. She had tried to board a bus late at night, but the driver didn't see her. The bus hit her, and she died instantly. The time of the accident was recorded in the police report. 2:17 in the morning. Since that day, several night drivers had reported seeing a woman waiting at that same stop. But whenever they checked the cameras, no one was ever there. After that night, Daniel refused to drive that route again. But some drivers who still work the night shift say something terrifying. They claim that if you pass Raven Hill Stop at exactly 2:17 a.m., sometimes a passenger will get on the bus. And if you look in the mirror, you might see her sitting quietly behind you, watching, waiting for the next stop. Thanks for listening to this story. If you enjoy real-life horror stories like this, don't forget to subscribe. And if you have experienced something strange or paranormal in real life, you can share your story with us.